Hey friends, it's Joe from DadBod. Today is day 26 of your program. It's around 77 degrees in Tokyo and 5:07 in the morning. It's starting to get hot and humid, which I don't like. And today we have a 1 mile Fartlek, which is the run walk. So let me pop you under my head and we'll get started. All right. The strap's a little different today because Hezekiah was wearing y'all for one of our live streams on Twitch. Friends, this is a huge day. This is the end of your runs and walks for 4 weeks. You have been actively getting out on your body and stretching distance for 4 weeks. That's super cool. All right, so let's start off with a walk to get warm. 3, 2, 1, go.
Begin workout.
Oh, thanks. Nice and quiet. Good for our brain. Start our stopwatch. So we'll do 1 minute slow, 2 minutes on. And this is big because on Monday, you're gonna actually step out and start running. I mean, you're running on fartleks because we've been working on endurance training, but we're gonna start to actually go a given distance as a jog, a sustained jog. But based on where your body's at, if you're not ready to run the full distance next week, you can still fartlek it, you could run walk it, you can run and you could walk and just keep doing the distance. Like, do it makes sense for you, but we're gonna get running. It's gonna be fun. OG-san's getting ready to clean up the trail for us. Thank goodness for OG-san. Oh, mosquitoes are out. Dreadful. Let's see, 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. All right, let's go. What happens that much? All right. Got a lot on my mind today. Still processing through it. Lots of things are overlapping in my world in some challenging ways. And I'm just trying to discern the path forward. Find the path. And I think some aspects of the path aren't going to be found ahead of time. I'm just going to have to improvise. I think that's always one of the hardest parts in life, is we could look too far ahead, or at least I do, and we try to fit all the pieces together, because I don't know, we want to have control. There's a lot of things in my life right now that I want to have control over. And in many ways, certain things are out of control. Like, I think we talked about this on one of the workouts, 30 more seconds. But my expense report was so delayed that my corporate card got suspended right as I got on a business trip. Now, compliance is very important. Paying people on time is important. And walk. Whew. It's very important, all these things. Right? But like, also the demands of my job, quite crippling at times. Quite severe and challenging. And a lot of times when I'm under pressure to deliver certain solutions, it means that some of those smaller tasks get deprioritized and bumped multiple times until there's a problem. And that's my workflow. It's been like that for a decade. It's not perfect, but a lot of times I will prioritize what's most critical and then let some of those smaller things stay in backlog too long, like training's another example. Never keep up with training. Oh man, we're already at run again. Take a breath. Let's go. This is gonna be a quick one today because we get the jog. And it's a faster jog. When we do the long distance next week, it'll be a slower pace. Right now I'm running like I'm in a hurry. Ooh, skipped a step, that was exciting. But anyway, some of these things will lag for me. And on my last business trip to Osaka, I was like, all right, we're in the problem zone. You know, like, we gotta fix this expense report. And then it turned into like, we gotta fix our whole life, like expense reports mixed with medical expenses we haven't reimbursed, mixed with mail and bills that are overdue, mixed with tax forms from Japan I don't understand. All these challenging things that I've never done before. This is a really nice pace, by the way. And it's like everything overlaps, everything's hard. I've spent the whole week just trying to separate all these different things, organize them, label them. They've taken over my kitchen table. It's stressful for everybody. And I've like still kept other work at bay, like progressed it gradually while attacking these underlying compliance issues. 10 more seconds. Whew. Well, anyway, long story short, I got the expense report submitted. Right as I submitted it, I kind of, all right, let's walk. Whew. Whew. Challenging today. It's a good fartlek. I got the expense report submitted, and like literally 40 minutes after that of feeling that elation that like we did it, we're digging out, we can live in Japan, we're figuring it out. My boss, and I love my boss, like awesome guy out here doing his best. He got another email that, hey, you're 60 days overdue on your Amex. It's gonna be terminated. This is your highest priority. To which I thought I had like a great reply, as I often do when I'm off the mark with people. And I was like, yeah, this has been like my highest focus since the Osaka trip. Just submitted the expense report. If you could approve it, it should zero out the Amex. And then I can call the company and we should be good. Let's go, let's run. But then right after that, he sent a very good managerial email. And I'm being very careful with words. Like, everything he did from his vantage point was right. But the way that it affected me was unforeseen. And that's not his fault. But he sent a reply of like, this can never happen again. And these are the things that are wrong with the report. This is out of compliance. Unacceptable. And just very, very strong words, right? Which, all of it was true. But I had like, those two little paragraphs like shut me down for the whole day. And it just crossed over into these feelings of inadequacy across everything. You know, just being totally overwhelmed. Like, I've been preparing to ask for let's turn around, to ask for a shift in compensation and role and responsibility, and then it's like this guy can't even manage his expenses. 10 more seconds. almost there. 3, 2, 1. Take a deep breath. Maybe a double. It's a good workout, you know. So it's like immediately I get hit with this wave. I get hit with the wave of like, we've moved 12 times. I'm unsupported in this role. It's very vulnerable. If I don't work hard and see success, like my family is gonna disrupt. And then back up stateside, there's some other personal things we're navigating. You know, like everything just circled and connected, right? And I couldn't respond, even though I felt a pressure to respond to what he said. And like, the reality is like language barrier, culture shock, all these things stack up. We should be running in our life. You know, all these things stack and build upon each other. Whew. And in the US, I will be honest, like, I still have these challenges from time to time. I was not always compliant with documentation, expenses, but like, when there's no language and culture side of things, your energy levels are different. You can bang out more and get away with more. Out here, I have to be very selective with what I do and don't do, and when I do it. Otherwise, I suck at my job, and I suck as a dad. I'm like, it was so hard. So hard for me to reply to my boss and say like, yes, I agree. And that was really important, not a but. And I'd like to discuss this further in our next one-on-one. Like, to land at that response took so much work for me because of all the crap we've navigated. Because of all the times I've asked for like admin support for logistics and been told no, and then still expected to lead all these other really challenging, time-consuming things. Got to 15 seconds. You're doing great. Oh my God. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. You know, so it's like just feeling adrift in the sea, feeling super vulnerable. And this boss, like, I have to demonstrate confidence and success, or at least I perceive that, in order to get support in advance. So an area I'm struggling with is like being vulnerable, like, hey, like, this expense report thing, it's just a symptom of how much is wrong with my job right now, and how out of balance all the pieces of my life are, how stacked things feel, how much pressure I'm under. So, you know, while you would like me to commit, we're almost there. 1.1, while you'd like me to commit to these things, like, I really can't commit to that just based on what I'm up against. 1 mile, y'all. So let's just keep walking it out. We're gonna go to the reflection spot.
Total distance 1 mile.
Woo!
Total time 13 minutes and 18 seconds.
That was great.
13 minutes, 18 seconds.
Sorry, enough about me for a minute. Great job, everybody. You're really pushing yourself. That pace might have felt a little rushed for you. We did that in about 12 and a half minutes because I was anxiety jogging. We normally won't run like that, although the goal of the Fartlek is to push pace. I would never run a half marathon that speed, at least not in the nearest future. But yeah, so like, out of all this, because I'm super empathetic, it's a gift and a curse of me. It's like nothing my boss did was wrong or off the mark. And I have a responsibility to bring him into the reality of where I'm at and be transparent. But at the same time, I feel a vulnerability in doing that because I'm in this strange, under-supported global role where I have to demonstrate success against all odds. And the path to do that involves like not doing expenses sometimes, because I'm like literally building this multi-million-dollar system for innovation from Japan. Like I'm doing all this other crap unsupported. And when I make a request for small levels of support, I don't get it. So, and the answer, my personal answer, where I feel strongly, the answer is not to work more. I'm already working too much in this role. But those are all really hard things to talk about. So like, that's all the pressure I'm under. So we'll see. I have a one-on-one with him today. So if y'all come from a faith context and want to pray for me, that's everything I'm carrying as I try to meet the needs of my family, succeed in my job, and keep up with the simple stuff like an expense report, even though it's in Japanese and everything's hard. It's so fun. Yeah, let's pause this. All right, I'm gonna give us 3 to 5 minutes. I'm being attacked by mosquitoes, so we'll see how long we go. Feel free to process what's going on in your world. Feel free to vent in the comments below. If anything I said resonates with you, or if you have any encouragement or wisdom, let me know. I mean, I'll see the comments down the road based on when I get to editing this, but I trust that as I circle back over them, they'll be helpful for me as I continue to navigate this opportunity. All right, let's see if we could rest and reflect a little bit together. Hey friends, let's end with story time, because that's what I've been drawn to as I continue to walk down this trail. So when me and Felicia were in the middle of moving to Japan, we were probably on our 5th or 6th relocation within a year, like based on a bed bug infestation, like just a hot mess. We were crammed inside a really small 2-bedroom apartment with 3 kids living out of suitcases because all of our house was packed out. It was bad. The whole situation was bad. And I don't know, while I was sitting and praying and reflecting, what came to mind was in the midst of that challenge and that low and that suck that we were working through, we got a notification that there's a noise complaint based on our children, right? And our children, like, were trapped in a 2-bedroom apartment. They weren't in preschool. They were all 5 years old and under. We had 3 of them, right? Like, of course they're gonna run around, they're gonna make noise. Like, that's just what's gonna happen. And I just remember how dejected me and Felicia felt during that, of like, why can't they see what we're struggling with? Like, we didn't choose as a three kid family to live in this circumstance with all these transitions and all this hard and all this bad we're going through. Like, there are many pieces of this that were just out of our control, and we just wanted them to see that we're doing the best we can. Why you have to hit us with a noise complaint? I think it's hard because when you're in the middle of a challenge, you just deeply desire for people to know what you're going through without you having to explain it and provide the context ahead of time. You just want to be accommodated because it hurts and it's hard. And I think that's probably what I'm struggling with. And it's hard because if I want to have that support and that empathy, then I have to do my part to receive it by sharing. And that makes me feel like double marginalized. So I think that's where you're at. But if you're on the flip side of that, like, open your eyes to the people around you and find ways to be encouraging when they're navigating something a little bit tough. Take them out to Chipotle. I don't know, Chipotle's great. Anyway, see you around, friends. We got one more tomorrow. You're doing great.